Hey guys, it's me, SuperSonic407's.
Dark Raven said it in his commentary, and I'm going to say it here. You need to invest in a better microphone. There is too much noise going on that makes you sound really muffled, which gets on people's nerves. Believe it or not, microphones are not that expensive. A regular stand-up mic, like the one that I'm using right now, you can find those at Best Buy for like $25. Headsets, maybe $10 more. You don't need to get a super high-quality mic unless you're doing something like voice acting, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on one.
This is my very first rant ever made, and surprisingly, to probably most of you, it's about my own fan character, ShimaTheHedgehog. I'm not happy by what I've been hearing in certain areas, like about her being a recolor and all this other crap.
Well, I hate to break it to you, honey, but when you take a picture of Amy and trace it to make your own fan character with little design tweaks to it, how do you expect people to react? And using recolored pictures throughout your rant doesn't help your case either. If you want people to take you and your character seriously, the least you can do is draw a unique pose and character design yourself. Take my old fan characters, for example. Sure, they may not look exactly like the canon Sonic characters, but guess what? Their sprites had to come from somewhere, and that was where my originality was cut short. I am telling you from experience, this is not exactly wise, my dear.
Okay, people, she's not a recolor. I swear to you, with my life, she is not a recolor.
Well, your pictures beg to differ. Before, after. Before, after. What you're doing to make these pictures is recoloring. Just accept it, because the more you deny it, the worse you make yourself look. I have seen it happen too many times to too many kids who did just what you're doing right now.
I don't get why you guys say it. I kind of can. Like, her hair and the headband is really, that's all taken from Amy. But I have a reason for that, but nobody really cares to listen to me.
If you would actually tell us the details, then people would listen. Not everyone goes to DeviantArt, which is where Shima can be found. Believe me, I looked. Since you're making a video on YouTube about it, you're going to have to explain, or at least provide a link to your DA account so we can see for ourselves.
Nobody just listens to my side of the story or anything about this, so I guess I'm going to be able to get this out now. The reason why she has the same hair and headband as Amy is because when she was first created, I had a gazillion different ideas for her, and I looked at Shadow and compared it to Sonic, like, okay, Shadow kind of looks like Sonic, and everyone mistakes Shadow for Sonic at times. Well, a lot of times. So I'm like, okay, I want to turn Shima into, kind of looks like Amy, but they basically have the same problems as their identity crisis.
I have got to agree with Dark Raven on this one. That is such a weak excuse for Shima looking like Amy. When you get down to it, Sonic and Shadow look nothing alike. The fact that people confuse the two all the time is because of weak writing at best. And for the record, 'cause you and your friends are using the excuse with Mephiles, basically saying, Sega gets away with it, so why can't we? You don't think people criticize Sega for making Mephiles a Shadow recolor? Because if you don't, then man, you are really, really naive.
So I did, and I guess this is how it turns out to be, is that everyone's saying she's a recolor, you had no imagination, why'd you make her like this, why can't you just leave her at one of her new outfits that was scrapped already. I don't want to. I like how she is now. She's going to stay that way. I don't think anyone's going to be asking me to change her anytime.
If you don't want to change the character, if you don't care about what people are saying about the character, then what is the point of making this video. You say you're trying to explain and defend your character, and yet you haven't explained anything. All you did was toss an excuse for Shima to look like Amy. I still know nothing about her background. Who are her friends? Why are they her friends? Who are her enemies? Why are they her enemies? What are her powers? Tell me, why should I appreciate a character if I know nothing about the character? I mean, I would be satisfied with a simple bio of the character. I'm not asking for much. I mean, that was what I did with my fan characters when I first introduced them. It didn't give away too much because I understand spoilers and all. But it gave enough so that people could see and understand where the character is coming from. What you posted on DeviantArt doesn't tell me anything.
But if you're gonna like, okay, you have to change her, or she's gonna basically be a recolor, she's gonna be a troll now. Well, you know what? Listen to this, and if you don't get it through your thick head, I will go and personally find you and stab you through the head. I'm serious. I will do that. I'm not afraid to do it.
If I had a nickel every time a kid made a death threat on the internet. Listen up. Making death threats does not make you look tough. People do not get scared by that. Instead, they laugh at that. It is really sad about how seriously you're taking this. You shouldn't have to. I've had people attack my fan characters in Sprite series too, but you don't see me getting offended. Why? I have realized the errors of my ways, and I've since moved on to better things. That is the difference between me and you. And that is why you are such easy troll bait. All people have to do is make fun of your character, and they know that they'll get this kind of reaction out of you. Say, I will kill you all you want. We all know that you won't, and you can't. You know that phrase, don't feed the trolls? There's a reason for it. And by the way, why are Shima's colors switching? First she's red with black tints, now she's black with red tints. Is there a reason for that? Because if not, then I will tell you what people will think. They will think that you are so lazy that you won't even pay attention to the color details of your character.
Another thing is her being an ultimate life form. Okay. I don't really like her being an ultimate life form. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna keep her story the same and everything. Just change it so she's not an ultimate life form.
Okay, that's good. Because the whole ultimate life form bit is so overdone when it comes to fan characters. So this is a step in the right direction. Kudos to you. So this tells me you're not completely incompetent. You're willing to make changes. So if you will just listen to what people are telling you, take their criticisms with a grain of salt, build off of it to create something new and different, I guarantee you people will respect you more. That is how you're supposed to handle criticism. Take it and make it constructive.
Sure, her and Shadows are the same mom, but I made her mom just to do something so everyone can tell why he's a hedgehog and he doesn't look like the black arms aliens.
Quick question. How can that work when Shadow is an experiment made from scratch by Gerald Robotnik and Black Doom? Unless Shima was made from scratch by Gerald and Black Doom, then the whole sibling thing with Shadow is not going to work. I hate to rain on your parade here, but that's canon fact right there. I know there's tons of other fan characters out there that are related to the other Sonic characters, but at least when it comes to the other characters, details on their families are so open that people can afford to get away with it. Can't really do that for Shadow. Sorry. None of my fan characters had any relations to the Sonic cast, partly because doing so would be overdone, but mostly to not clash with established canon material.
So, I don't think, from what I've written, I don't think even the project even went well with her, since she went on a rampage when they were experimenting on her. So she's not really an ultimate life form either, just because even though she's just related to Shadow and is basically kind of immortal too, but not really, because she can die by guns and all that other good stuff.
How can you be kind of immortal and yet still die from guns? You either are or you aren't.
So, I guess this is basically my rant. So, I will be getting a picture of videos with her in it. Like, I'm working on one now. They're all Sonic X Recolors, but it's because I don't have a scanner at all, and I don't know where my dad's camera is, so. Okay, so I guess this is enough. But remember, guys say she's a recolor and a troll. I'll go find you and kill you myself. Okay, this is Supersonic Girl, and this is my first rant. See ya.
My dear, your rant was terrible. You did not achieve your goal whatsoever. You completely missed the mark. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I did find Shima on DeviantArt because I figured I'd be able to find her story and I can see for myself where she's coming from since you can't find it here on YouTube. I found her story for her, and to be honest, it's not that great. I already mentioned about her and Shadow being siblings and how that couldn't work. You have no sense of pacing whatsoever. I mean, as soon as you bring in Shima's father, Xylax, he's immediately destroyed. He didn't have time to develop as a villain. Hell, Shima herself doesn't have time to develop. Sonic immediately falls in love with her, and let me tell you, love at first sight is so overdone. You have everyone going into their super forms to defeat Xylax, even though he took away their Chaos Emeralds. No Chaos Emeralds, no super forms. I know you don't want to hear this, but you need to fix up a lot in your stories. As it is now, Shima and her story is really unimpressive. But as I mentioned earlier, if you take this criticism and apply it constructively, you will end up with a better result. I know you and your friends are saying, I made this for me, and I don't want to change for you. Again, I'm talking from experience here. I was your age once too, and I did stuff like what you're doing when it comes to fan creations. If this is just for you, then why are you posting it on the internet for everyone to see? You have to be prepared to face any kind of criticism that comes your way. If you can't, don't post it on the internet, period. And lastly, I have to ask, why are you making this rant on YouTube? You're specifically addressing the people on DeviantArt who commented on your art. If you're going to defend yourself, okay, but why aren't you defending yourself on the site where the accusations are coming from? Because you put your response on another site where you think no one can see it, I'm telling you right now, people are going to think you're cowardly, that you are so scared to face these criticisms, and you shouldn't. Criticism, no matter how harsh it may come across, is ultimately here for your benefit. Remember that.
What comes to mind when I say the word recolor? I would accept answers such as untalented, stupid, waste of time, uncreative, and unoriginal in its own way. Recolors. When someone gets so bored that they take a screenshot from the TV show Sonic X and color over the character to make their own Sonic character, or in more appropriate terms, a Sonic fan character. Now, this commentary is going to be towards one of those many people. This person is by the username SoniaDeRose1996. She made a rant/defense video about how bad recoloring characters are. Hurrah! Although this video was actually covered by my good friends Realm Wars and Roushutsu. But after hearing so much about not only Sonia DeRose 1996, but also her sister Death the Dark Forever, I just couldn't resist. Now, as I said earlier, she made a rant/defense video to defend her sister, Death the Dark Forever, and also to tell people to stop recoloring over her already recolored character. I wish I was kidding. Now, will that video work? Well, let's find out. This is Sonia DeRose 1996's video simply entitled, Stop Recoloring Death the Dark Forever. Oh, by the way, did I forget to mention that Sonia actually removed the video after Death the Dark Forever and Sonia watched Roushutsu's commentary? Yeah, crazy. I know.
Hey everyone, Sonia DeRose 1996 here.
I know I may be bringing this up a little bit too soon, but since she's trying to make people stop recoloring characters, looking at this Sonic X recolor that Death the Dark Forever did, as well as some other recolored pictures that you'll see in the video, you'll already get a bad feeling that this video isn't going to work. I'll explain why later on.
And today, I've actually not long got word that Death the Dark Forever has been recolored again. Ugh.
Okay, that pause was nearly 7 seconds long. May I recommend editing out any pauses if you end up making any?
When will you guys learn? Recoloring over other people's characters hurts the person that made the character.
And that's true, especially since you kinda already stole artwork from Sonic X and then recolored it to make your own Sonic character as well. How does this make any sense?
Yes, a recolor. So bloody what? It's their choice, not yours. It's their life at the end of the day. You don't need to mess with them or troll them.
Everybody on the internet gets trolled every so often, even me. And yet I don't get bothered by them because I simply ignore them. I know they're just trying to mess with me, so I just don't worry about it and move on. But why do you think someone recolored Death the Dark Forever's recolored Sonic character? It's because you and Death the Dark Forever are giving this person the reaction he or she wants. If you show him or her that recoloring Death the Dark Forever's character makes you upset, that will give them a reason to keep doing it, and it'll just keep getting worse and worse and worse. It's the process of feeding the trolls.
And this is all to one recolorer who I really want to have a talk with. But unfortunately she blocked me on YouTube, but I know her DA now.
Okay, and that pause was about 13 seconds long. Okay, here's a pro tip for you when it comes to videos such as the one you made. Either A, script out what you want to say. Type what you want to say in a program such as Microsoft Word, WordPad, or Notepad. Then, while you're recording, you can read off what you want to say so that you'll have a better chance of not pausing or stuttering if that happens. Or B, just simply cut out any pauses you find in your video. That way you won't have to waste time for the people who are watching this video or any video of yours in general.
I know her DA because I went to her channel when she first recolored Death, and now she's done it again. When will you learn?
To be perfectly honest, since you and Death the Dark Forever not only recolor original Sonic pictures yourselves, but also made a couple of videos toward this troll, including this one, I wouldn't be surprised if other people ask you the exact same question.
I like Death's character. She likes her character. But now she wants to throw her character away because you're recoloring her. And this is to everybody who wants to recolor Death the Dark.
This message is for every last goddamn troll.
Alright? Just leave her alone. Flip's sake. A lot of people think that because Death is dark, you think probably she's evil or something. Well, she's not. She's a nice person. She's a very nice girl. You'd know if you get to know her better.
I may not know Death the Dark Forever, but I would assume that she's a nice person. But I gotta ask you, How is that a good enough excuse for this troll to stop recoloring Death the Dark's already recolored picture?
When I first became friends with her, I was a little nervous, yeah. Basically, when I first met Death, I was a bit nervous because I didn't know who she was, I didn't know, well, what the hell she did for a living, and also, I didn't know how old she was, but now I know. Well, basically, if you're recoloring, you're stealing that character, you're being stupid, you're being a complete ass.
Look at that. She clearly said anyone who recolors is stealing the character, is being stupid, and is a complete ass. Bad news, Sonia. That kind of insult doesn't really work when you recolor Sonic pictures yourself. So, what makes you any better?
Well, basically, let's just say this, if you keep on recoloring, I'll basically report you. I'll report you to the DA staff. Well, basically, I'll just report you to the staff, and basically that's about it.
You know, now that I think about it, if this problem with Death the Dark Forever's character being recolored is taking place on DeviantArt, then why did you bring it to YouTube? It's like the video SuperSonic407's made to defend her fan character ShimaTheHedgehog. Her problems with her character were on DeviantArt, and yet she made a video on YouTube hoping that people will leave her alone on DA when she tried to fix the problem on YouTube and not on DeviantArt.
Just stop now, because this is actually hurting her.
I'm still surprised that people like you take stuff like this way too seriously. You're acting as if Death's picture of her character is such a big deal. Recoloring was meant to be a fun thing. Like some kid gets bored and recolors a Sonic screenshot just for the hell of it. But then when someone gets on his ass about it, he takes it so personally as if his recolored picture was his life and soul. This is exactly what you and Death are doing. This is a reason why I decided not to use my Supersonic avatar anymore, because I knew I was gonna run into problems like the problems you're going through. Thank God. And besides, dude, it's a recolored screenshot. You and Death did the exact same thing with your characters. You took a screenshot from Sonic X, recolored it, and then claimed the picture as your own. So again I ask, what makes you any better?
You don't seem to see it. You don't really seem to realize the fact that when you recolor Death the Dark, it puts her in pain. And none of you can see it.
So let me get this straight. If people recolor characters, whether they are recolored or not, it's a bad thing. But when you recolor Sonic pictures, that's a good thing. Dude, that just shows that you're a complete hypocrite when it comes to recolors. You're telling this person to stop recoloring Death's character, which was already recolored, when you two are doing the exact same thing. I'm sorry for repeating myself, but that's a horrible excuse for you to recolor Sonic pictures and not them. It's like if a thief was telling a second thief that it's wrong to steal his gem and steal in general, when he clearly stole that gem and a bunch of other stuff from the museum. It doesn't add up.
None of you, except me, Sam...
Wait, who's Sam?
And a few others, like Chris...
Who's Chris?
You all don't see it. Yes, some people recolor over original Sonic characters. Yeah, that's how they create their character in the first place. If you want to create a character, use an original Sonic X base.
Oh yeah, use an original Sonic X face to make your own Sonic fan character. And yet Death the Dark made this recolor, and this is from someone's fan art. It's so obvious that this is from someone's fan art.
Huh? Suddenly it reeks of hypocrisy in here.
Alright, just recolor over that.
Or you could simply think of an original Sonic fan character in your head and then draw it out yourself. I mean, take a look at Soul890, another user on DA. He draws every one of his fan characters from scratch and not recolor a single Sonic X screenshot. And to be perfectly honest, they're very well detailed and very well done. And the best thing about this guy is, he doesn't take any of his fan characters seriously. He just draws these characters out because, well, I guess he was just in the mood to draw them out. So there are other ways to making a Sonic fan character than just recoloring Sonic X screenshots.
I mean, yeah, you think it's alright because a lot of people recolor over Sonic X bases and you don't see Sega crying about it. Well, basically, yeah, that's how people, Sonic fans, create their fan characters. It's fan-made. Jeez.
So? That doesn't excuse the fact that you're a huge hypocrite when it comes to recoloring Sonic pictures.
For the person that made the character, you need to pay attention to their feelings. Think about what you're doing.
You said that we need to pay attention to Death's feelings when it comes to recoloring her recolored character. Well, let's put it like this. When you two recolor original Sonic pictures, especially Sonic X screenshots, how do you think the artist for Sonic X would feel? Don't you think you need to take some consideration on their feelings? I mean, I would think that they put a lot of hard work into drawing every one of those Sonic characters from scratch.
Really, come on. If you would leave Death alone, she will leave you guys alone, and basically, let's just say this. If you keep recoloring her, you'll get reported by me to the DA staff. And also, if you dare recolor my sister's character again, I will literally go skits on you.
Non-threatening threat is not threatening! I'm sorry, but how can anyone take that kind of a threat seriously? Especially since she made that threat on the internet. Alright, for future reference, Sonia, threats you make on the internet are always taken as a joke. That's another way for you to make yourself look more like troll bait. So try to avoid making threats of any kind in a video such as this.
Like literally, I will go skits. That's all I have to say. See you guys in the next video.
Well, after all that, did Sonia's video work? Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, Sonia, but no, it didn't. Mainly because the majority of your argument was nothing more than hypocrisy. For instance, you told people to stop recoloring Death the Dark's character when it was already recolored by her to begin with. So it doesn't make sense to tell people to stop recoloring when she recolors as well. So when making a rant such as this, make sure you bring up points that aren't easily backfired. Another tip for you. You keep saying that someone recolors Death's character, who just might be a troll. If someone's bothering you, or a friend of yours, just ignore him. Even if this person recolors a simple picture. Just ignore him, forget about the guy, and move on. Otherwise, as I said earlier, you're gonna make things worse on yourself when it comes to trolls. Pretty much, you'll make yourself obvious troll bait. And finally, don't take your characters and or pictures of your characters seriously. I must remind you, your Sonic character is not real. It is just something you made on the internet. And acting like something you made on the internet is such a big deal doesn't help your case. So keep these in mind for future reference, as well as some other criticism you received from other people, and you and Death should be fine.